Good afternoon, everyone. Today we're diving into one of the most challenging, transformative, and life-giving invitations Jesus ever gave us: to love like He loves. Not to love similar to Him, not to love inspired by Him, but to love as He loved. In John 13:34, Jesus says, "A new command I give you, love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another." This is not a suggestion. It's not a spiritual elective. It's the core of what it means to follow Him. But what does that actually look like in real life? How do we love like Jesus in a world that often feels angry, divided, impatient, and self-focused? Today, we're going to explore 5 ways Jesus loved and how we can practice each one in our daily lives. When Jesus looked at people, He didn't see interruptions, burdens, or problems. He saw souls. Matthew 9:36 says, "When He saw the crowds, He had compassion on them." Compassion wasn't something Jesus felt occasionally. It was His default posture. Jesus loved by slowing down. Application to love like Jesus. Slow down enough to notice people. Ask God to soften your heart toward those you normally overlook. Practice holy interruptions. Reflection moment. Think of someone in your life who needs compassion more than correction. What would Jesus do if He were in your shoes? Jesus didn't wait for people to deserve love. He didn't wait for them to change first. He didn't wait for them to apologize. Romans 5:8 says, "While we were still sinners, Christ died for us." That is unconditional love, the radical nature of Jesus' love. Jesus loved the disciple who doubted Him, the disciple who denied Him, the disciple who betrayed Him, the crowds who mocked Him, the soldiers who crucified Him, and He said, "Father, forgive them." Application to love like Jesus. Stop keeping score. Love people who can't repay you. Love people who don't agree with you. Love people who have hurt you. Not by ignoring boundaries, but by refusing bitterness. Reflection moment. Who in your life have you been waiting on to deserve love? What would unconditional love look like in that relationship? John 1:14 describes Jesus as full of grace and truth. Not 50% grace and 50% truth. 100% grace. 100% truth. Grace without truth. Grace without truth becomes enabling avoidance. People-pleasing truth without grace. Truth without grace becomes harshness, judgment, self-righteousness. Jesus held both perfectly. For example, the woman caught in adultery. Jesus protects her from condemnation. Grace. Then He says, "Go and sin no more." Truth. Application. To love like Jesus. Speak truth gently, not as a weapon. Offer grace freely, not as an excuse. Correct with humility, not superiority. Real love costs something. Jesus didn't love from a distance. He didn't love when it was convenient. He didn't love only when it was comfortable. He loved with His time, His energy, His reputation, and ultimately, His life. Sacrifice in everyday life. Sacrificial love might look like giving someone your full attention, serving without being thanked, choosing forgiveness over revenge, putting someone else's need above your preferences, showing up when it's inconvenient. Application to love like Jesus. Ask, "What can I give?" instead of, "What do I get?" Practice small daily sacrifices. Let love interrupt your schedule. Jesus didn't just love people by comforting them. He loved them by calling them higher. He told fishermen they would change the world. He told the broken they were beloved. He told the outcasts they were chosen. He told the fearful they were capable. Jesus saw what people could become, not just what they were. Speak life into people. Encourage potential, not just performance. Believe the best about others. Celebrate progress, not perfection. Loving like Jesus is not a one-time decision. It's a daily practice, a lifestyle, a posture of the heart